I'm Jade from Williamson Cosmetic Center, and we are so excited to invite you to our Cool event. We want to welcome you guys here. It is going to be a really nice event. You'll see lots of videos and information on cool sculpting. And at the end of the event, we'll have a Q&A live where you can ask as many questions as you would like. And there's a question box that'll prompt so you can access whatever you need and we can answer anything for you. So let's get started.
If you are looking to get rid of stubborn fat in a non-invasive or non-surgical way, there's really only two solutions: heat-based devices or cold-based devices. Coolsculpting uses a cold-based method called cryolipolysis. Cryolipolysis gently and effectively cools fat cells and freezes them to the point of fat cell death without disrupting any surrounding nerves or tissues. Over the course of the next 1 to 3 days, the fat cells will die off, and then your body will naturally eliminate them over the course of 1 to 4 months. Once these fat cells are gone, they are gone for good. So your results are long lasting. So what makes Coolsculpting unique among fat reduction devices? Coolsculpting actually holds the patent for gentle cooling and removal of stubborn fat cells known as cryolipolysis. After just one treatment, its patented technology is proven to deliver long-lasting results. With FDA clearance to treat 9 different areas of the body and over 14 million treatments worldwide, it's the #1 device that doctors use most for non-surgical and non-invasive stubborn fat cell removal.
FDA cleared areas for cool sculpting include the submental, so this area underneath the chin, the abdomen, the flanks and the back, the arms, inner thighs, outer thighs, and above the knee, and also the banana roll, which is a little bit right underneath the glute. For maximum results with cool sculpting, we on average say most patients need 2 treatments. That can be, sometimes people need a little bit more, and rarely does someone need just 1. On average, it's 2 treatments. So you come in for a treatment, we do our full treatment plan, and then I'll see you back in 30 days for a second treatment plan. After that, we can start seeing our results anywhere from 4 to 12 weeks after. Coolsculpting is a great treatment, especially for patients with stubborn areas of fat that don't go away with diet and exercise. Our body has 2 different types of tissue that are considered fat. One is subcutaneous, the other one is visceral. Visceral fat is the fat that is deep down around your organs. It's kind of that fat that's kind of hard and it's deeper in there. Coolsculpting can't treat those areas because it's deeper and it's around the organs, and our machine can't quite get to it. That is the kind of fat that is easily lost with diet and exercise. Coolsculpting is great for the patient that has those pinchable, pliable pieces of fat, that stubborn area in your abdomen, your arms, the things that you can grab onto. Those areas are, that kind of tissue is the tissue that we can treat. So if you have that kind of fat that you can pinch or it doesn't go away with diet and exercise, Coolsculpting is a great option for those patients. We do ask that most of our patients be at their goal weight for treatment just because it's not a weight loss procedure. Your weight's not going to change on Coolsculpting, but what it will do is kind of help to shape and sculpt the areas to be more defined and better looking for you. The great part about Coolsculpting, it has little to no downtime, meaning you can come in for a treatment, and when you leave here, you can pick up your kids from school, go run errands, even go to the gym. There really is little to no downtime associated with the procedure. On average, I find most of my patients can feel a little bit of soreness, itching, numbness, kind of like tingling in this area. Also a little bit of swelling, and all that is pretty common. But all in all, you're really pretty good and can leave here and do pretty much anything you want to.
Jamie, thank you so much for coming in for your complimentary Coolsculpting consultation today. A lot of times patients really don't know if they're a candidate, and so we always encourage them to come to the office in person. That way we can meet with you and really take a look at your body visually and determine if you are a great candidate for Coolsculpting. So today we will do that. But here is a great visual of some patients that we've treated here at Williamson. And you'll notice they're different shapes, sizes. The distribution of fat is very different. So a lot of times patients really don't know, am I a candidate or not, until they come in and kind of see some good before and afters that the practice has done. Because you don't just want to reference those World Wide Web of photos that are out there. You really want to see the practices before and afters and the patients that we have touched. And so these are all patients that we have treated here at Williamson Cosmetic Center. And so if you're ready, we'll move forward with getting into doing an assessment and coming up with your treatment plan.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our Coolsculpting virtual event. Up next, for the next 15 minutes or so, will be a live little pop-up of questions where you can ask us anything you might need, and we can answer any questions that you might have that we might not have answered so far. Hey, we're so excited you guys could be here with us today. I'm Jade. I work here in the Gonzales office at Williamson, and
I'm Lyndsey, and I am at our Baton Rouge location. Thank you all for joining us. We hope the information that we brought to you guys tonight through this wonderful presentation was beneficial. And I know that we have a lot of questions to get through. There's obviously some really common ones. So we'll get started with, has there been any clients that did not receive results? I have never really had a patient who never fully received or felt like they did not see any change whatsoever. Sometimes, and it is rare, patients do see less than that 20 to 25% after one treatment, which is why we always recommend patients to complete their full treatment plan. And it's also why we take the before and after so that we can track your progress.
I also think it's really important that you have a realistic expectation with Coolsculpting. It is 25 to 30% fat loss each time we do treatment. So by looking at good before and afters and seeing what a real result is why we have such good results. Neither one of us have a problem turning someone away and saying you're not a candidate. Because if you aren't, that's my name on you. I want you to love me after your treatment's over with. I want you to be my friend. I want to come back and see me so often. So I want you to have great results. So if I don't think you're a candidate, we absolutely will tell you. But if you are, we totally will make sure we get you in. We come up with a treatment plan, and it can be in multiple areas. It just kind of depends which one.
Okay, so we have some really good questions also coming through. So how long does the fat stay away? So the good news is once these fat cells are frozen and they die off and your body naturally eliminates them over the course of 1 to 4 months, they are gone for good. We are not constantly acquiring new fat cells. That typically stops around adolescence. So it's kind of like throwing darts at the balloon at that little fair game. Once you burst that fat cell, it's gone. So the ability to acquire new fat cells just doesn't exist if you are beyond adolescent, which I hope most of our crowd joining us this evening is. But is there potential for the remaining fat cells to still inflate or deflate like a balloon? Yes. So we do encourage patients to just maintain a healthy lifestyle, and as long as they aren't steadily gaining weight, your results are long lasting. You'll enjoy them forever.
We had a quick question that said, where does the fat go? The fat, it exits your body through your lymphatic system, so it's gone. It's not in you anymore after the point of once we finish Coolsculpting. You're coming in for a consult is going to be your best option because 4 applicators can cover on everybody's body and frame is different. Your abdomen is a different torso length, so 4 can cover someone, and it could totally not cover someone. It really is going to be about looking at your body and truly sculpting it. So it's kind of hard to explain.
Does Coolsculpting also tighten the skin? So there is an FDA clearance for submental improvement, but actually tightening the skin, there is no FDA clearance. There is no proven clinical papers that prove Coolsculpting will tighten the skin. So obviously, when you come in for a consult, if we have any hesitation that reducing some fat may create some skin laxity, or if what you are presenting isn't really fat, but it's just loose, pinchable skin laxity, obviously we won't treat you, and we'll advise you moving forward, and hope that answers that question.
We have another question. How long is each treatment? So treatment time does range depending on how many of the applicators we put on you, but the applicators range from 35 minutes to 1 hour and 15. So it kind of all just depends on how many we're using at the moment. But usually by the time you come in for a consult, we can tell you specifically how long you'll be here hanging out with us. And the treatment is pretty comfortable. We have Netflix. So a lot of times people are here for a good little while visiting with us, but we have Netflix and you can chill out in the bed. You can work while you're here if it is a little bit longer time period.
And we do offer dual sculpting. I'm not sure if anyone has heard this term before, but it is where we can treat 2 areas at once. So for example, your arms, those applicators take 35 minutes. So from checking in at the front desk, signing your consents, changing, marking, like you saw in the video, the photos, and the actual application, I'd say from check in to check out, look at maybe spending 1 hour max with us. But again, that ranges depending on what areas it is that you are wanting to treat. But we can kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone, aka dual sculpting.
Yeah. We have a question that says, have either one of us done Coolsculpting personally? And what was our experience? Yes, Lyndsey Coolsculpted me.
You Coolsculpted me?
Yeah, so I did. I did my abdomen and I treated my full abdomen. So it's really good that we both have been through the treatment because we know exactly what you're feeling. How does it feel? We can describe it to you. We know the feelings that you're going through while you're going through it, and after it's over with, the healing of it, whenever you're feeling numb still, and the tingles and all those things. But we both have treated, and I had great results, and I only ever did my 1 treatment and was pretty good to go.
So Jade actually did my flanks and that kind of back fat. I call it my busted can of biscuits. Not painful. I'm a weenie. I did it multiple times. Love my results. I could even do it again whenever you have time. But so yes, we've personally done it. Love it. And we'll do it again. Yeah. What works better on cellulite on the front of your thighs? Coolsculpting or microneedling? So Coolsculpting is not FDA cleared to improve the look or any texture or skin quality that presents as cellulite. So I don't do micro needling, but I know that a lot of the ladies in both offices do recommend it sometimes for cellulite. I think that just varies patient to patient. So definitely come see one of our estheticians and they'll recommend whatever treatment is best for that. But great question. We get that a lot. Okay, and what does the treatment feel like? So the cold, I usually tell patients it's kind of like that sensation you get whenever you put your hands in snow and it gets so cold that it kind of starts to tingle and burn. So it kind of feels like that in the beginning and the end, but it's short-lived. The good news is we all know when we get really cold, things kind of go numb. So for the majority of the treatment, it's really comfortable. Again, patients Netflix, play on their phone. I've had patients take naps. And then the massage portion, again, it's numb from the treatment. That temperature change, again, kind of feels like hands in snow. And then afterwards, some numbness, a little inflammation, a little tender, but I mean, I think I played volleyball the same day after I did my treatment.
It's nothing crazy at all. I think our next question, we have a lot of questions coming through right now asking how many applicators things are. If you have 2 arms, that could be 2 applicators, but it could be 4 depending on the length of your arm. For your hips, it could be 2 because you have 2 legs, but depending on how the applicator fits, it could be 4. It's really hard to answer those questions. Flanks, same thing. It could be 1 or 2 applicators per side, so it could end up being 2 or 4. It's kind of hard to kind of go through that. So coming in for a consult would be the best way. And it's a quick 30-minute consult to see us.
Yep. I would say the best answer as far as number of applicators, plan for 8 for flanks, plan for 4 for arms, could be more, could be less. But again, the best way for us to really let you know, and you'll know, when you come and meet with us, we have to pinch it. We have to kind of measure it with these templates like you saw in the video. And this helps us determine which applicator and how many of those guys we need to use for your body. Okay, but all great questions. I know the pricing does get in applicators. It's always a standard remaining question that always needs some clarity. Do you recommend any special supplements or specific diet and exercise program to maintain my results? So like I said earlier, we just absolutely, you don't have to change anything that you are doing. We do ask that you do not gain weight and you do maintain, it is always encouraged to live a healthy life, but you don't have to implement something new that you're not doing. So if that answers that question, if you stay at your same weight or within, a 2-pound, 5-pound range, I see patients back who, have lost 2 pounds and have gained 2 pounds, and we still see changes.
Yes, absolutely. We have someone asking about the submental area here. Would 1 or 2 treatments help? This is very patient dependent. I would tell you, majority of people that do Coolsculpting need 2 sessions, meaning that you're going to come in and treat a second time. And whenever the question also said about the turkey neck, looking at the area of the submental is something that we're very specific on who we treat, because we want to make sure that it truly is fat in the area and it isn't any laxity with skin. So it could be 1, it could be 2. We have another patient. Let's see.
They're wanting to know if they use 4 applicators, are the other 4 free ones good for a future session? Yes. And do they have to be used in a certain time frame? So typically we see patients back in 8 weeks. And usually by then we have a pretty good idea of the results that we've gotten from that first round. Typically Coolsculpting takes 2 rounds. So at a future date, yes, you will get to use those other 4 paddles. And if you don't need them in the same area, then we can move them around and treat a new area.
We have someone that had a great question about, does a petite body use less applicators, or not necessarily due to what needs to be sculpted? So Lyndsey and I are both masters we've been at Coolsculpting University. We both have our masters in Coolsculpting. And something you get when you come to us is you get a lot of experience in well over thousands of treatments, where I can look at you and I look at what am I taking away and what's going to be left over. And on a petite person, that really matters. If someone has a shorter torso, it's treating more of a full area. Or if it's just a little pucker from having children, a lot of times C-section scars, women have that one little pucker they're looking at. It all is very patient dependent. So it could be you use less because you're more petite, but it also depends on what your results want to be. So if you're someone that's looking to go ahead and get a six pack, then we might have to get away some fat and do some cool tone. There's other steps of things after it. So it kind of just really depends. But I would say if you are more petite, you might use less.
We have to go. Thank everyone so much for joining.